AirPods Pro, Apple's third AirPods release, with a price tag of $250 and the Pro moniker added to its name. People like you and me, we want to know three things. Number one, what's different about these? Number two, how do they sound? And probably the most important question, do I need to go out and buy these right now? Let's find out. Let's talk about the design. There are two main things that you'll notice right away with the AirPods Pro. The first thing you can see here, Apple made the stem shorter. It's a welcome change since it pretty much eliminates the toothbrush look that people initially criticized about the first generation. The stems have a new purpose now. You can now squeeze them for the different functions like stop and starting your music, 2 for skipping tracks, and changing audio modes, and 3 to go backwards on a track. Apple's even included 3 sizes of tips, so ear holes rejoice. You're gonna find the right fit. The AirPods Pro even have a fit test that you can access on your iPhone or iPad to make sure that you have a current seal in it, or if you need to change the tip size, just so you can get the seal that you want. And also a big thing that I really like is that now they are IPX4 sweat and water resistant, which translate to take them to the gym, work out in them, but don't swim in them. Don't do that. Dancing in the rain should be okay if you're into that. As far as comfort goes, I had them in my ears for about an hour when I first got them, and I really didn't feel them. They feel great. There was no fatigue in them. It wasn't until about, I would say, 3.5 hours that my ears started to get a little bit tired here on this part. And one thing to mention about the silicone ear tips, the outside of the silicone is kind of thin, the part that touches your ear, and the opposite side that plugs in, that clicks into the AirPod, is actually plastic. And on the other side of the plastic, there's also this mesh on the back side, so you don't have to worry about debris or earwax or anything else actually going into the AirPod. You can just either change tips or wash the tips, get new ones, and you'll have clean ones. The size of the case is pretty similar to the original. If you hold it this way, it's shorter and wider. Actually, if you do have the AirPods case right now, it's about this size wide, just a little bit taller. And as you can notice on the front, there's an indicator light on the outside, just like on the AirPods from earlier this year. Will it still fit in your pocket fine? Absolutely. They're great for that. The actual AirPods fit very securely in the charging case. And the case has the familiar lightning port at the bottom instead of USB-C, but we kind of expected that. It's unfortunate because a lot of people were hoping that Apple would include USB-C this time around, especially since it's the Pro model. We have the iPhone Pro Lightning, AirPods Pro Lightning, iPad Pro, no, USB-C. What's up with that? One detail I do want to mention is the case, just like all the other AirPods cases, they get dirty really fast. Personally, for me, I'm probably going to get a silicone case or leather, or maybe if I can find a cheap carbon fiber one, just really thin one. You guys know how I like carbon fiber. I just want to prevent it from getting scratched up with all the stuff that I carry in the same pocket. Next, onto performance. It matters. And if you're paying this much for small earbuds, it really matters. Setup is super easy. It's about the same as all the other AirPods. You open them up, you pair them to your phone. That's it. Like Apple says, it's like magic. It took about, actually like 2 or 3 seconds to actually pair this with my phone, which is really amazing. Switching from iPhone to iPad is fast too, definitely faster than my old AirPods. The Pros also bring one of the bigger features is noise cancellation. If you don't know what it is, it's a feature that reduces the amount of ambient noise you hear. Think of like whenever you have the microwave on or the refrigerator, maybe the air conditioner blowing on you. So when you turn it on, you can listen to your music, movies, podcasts, whatever, with minimal to no distraction from the people and things going on around you. With noise cancellation on, but no music playing, AirPods Pro blocks out a good amount of noise, like the constant noise, like we mentioned before, air conditioning, microwaves, stuff like that. They're obviously not going to be as good as over-the-ear headphones like your Bose QC35s or Sony WH-1000 XM3s. But the AirPod in your ear is still exposed. That's the whole reason for that. It doesn't entirely cover your whole ear, so it doesn't give you the ear pressure also. You know how you feel maybe underwater or whenever you take off in a plane, you have that pressure on your ears. You don't have that. But the only way I can really describe it is it lowers the volume of the outside world. It's a great feature to have turned on. I like it. The only reason I would ever turn it off is to either save battery life or in a place that it's so quiet already that I don't even need it, that it won't even matter. AirPods Pro also have what's called transparency mode, where the sound will pass through your ears. It's kind of like having a microphone on, but this is much better than the other ones that I've heard. It's very natural. It's not as amplified as you may think, and the sound goes through pretty well. I wore them all morning and then onto lunch, and I was able to hear almost all the sounds around me. I even drove in them, drove on the highway, had a conversation with my wife, with my office mates, and everything was good. And I'm not quite an audiophile, as people might say. And as much as I love the AirPods, but let's be real here. I was a little let down by the bass, to be honest. I feel like these just don't hit the low end as they should, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, the very high end, like the real clean treble and cymbals and stuff like that. It's just something I really noticed. I've been using some other headphones before, and it was just immediately noticeable. It's maybe something Apple can work on for the next ones. Hey, You Know Who is a feature that was added to the Generation 2s, and it's back again. I had the first generation AirPods, and it was really nice to have You Know Who read my messages. Actually, it's a really cool thing that whenever it'll announce your messages. So I was at my office and I was listening to music, whatever, and you hear a little sound and it says, so-and-so sent a message, or so-and-so said, and reads you the message, and then you can say reply and just immediately reply to the message and it sends it. It's that simple. I like it because you don't need to look at your watch, your phone, anything else. The message just goes straight to your AirPods, and I really like it. On to battery life. For the first generation AirPods, Apple claimed that you could charge it for 15 minutes and it would give you about 3 hours worth of battery. For the AirPods Pro, they say now that 5 minutes will give you about 1 hour's worth. So it's basically the same, it just charges a little bit faster over a shorter period of time. One thing that I was impressed with is that you can charge. I had 0 battery percent in both of the AirPods. I drained them completely, and they went from 0 to 100% in pretty much an hour. So going back to the transparency mode, at work I was listening to music and I actually got a little more than, I want to say, actually Apple claims that it's 4.5 hours. I got closer to 5 with transparency mode on. That'd be the same for noise cancellation too. So it's a bit more than what Apple says. So I'm guessing that if you turn the noise cancellation transparency off too, you'll be able to get even more battery life out of it. So the $1 million question, actually it's more of a $250 question plus tax. Should I get the AirPods Pro? Well, at their current price point of $250, they're not exactly cheap. But when you compare it to other things, to things that you get from other wireless headphones, like active noise cancellation, transparency mode, Siri messaging, or Siri announcements, fantastic iOS integration, Qi charging, and the sound quality, I would say the best headphones I've ever listened to, or that I have right now, are at a 9. These are at an 8. They're just a little bit below them. So the price is pretty justified at the $250. I can tell you that personally, coming from the first gen AirPods, I have no regrets getting these. I definitely think it's worth it. The new features are amazing. Great setup. I moved away from Apple products for headphones for noise canceling earbuds, and these are a much welcome addition to my what is it called?
Ecosystem?
So, that's the review. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're feeling nice. Also comment and let us know what you'd like to see next. If you have any questions about the AirPods Pro or want to see them compared against something, that'd be great. Just let us know. See you in the next one. Lights out.